welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am doing my October 2020 palette challenge update, Doing a palette challenge that was created by Nat. When I say created, I mean she came up with the idea, great idea to do this challenge, and she invited Beth and I to do it. So Nat's channel is Nat from Little Miss Nat, and Beth is Beth from Lil Betsy _79. If you are not familiar with them, all of their information will be linked down below. Definitely check them out. We are doing a contest as well that after the palette challenge is up, which is going to be the end of December, we will be doing a big giveaway between the three of us where we are all going to give away something to a winner. So be keeping track of each of our videos and how many points we have and all of that, because that will put you in the running for the grand prize. So I'm here. This is my October update where I let you know the palettes that I used and how many points that I accumulated for the month added from the last months. So let me just start with saying that I did very bad this month. Nat came up with it, is that we're to use a palette, either you have to use a palette 3 or more times to get 1 point to earn a point, and you have to use 3 or more shades each time you do a look. So for instance, if I use just say my palette here, a Flutter palette from Colourpop, I have to use 3 or more shades and do it 3 or more times to gain a point. So that is how it works. So this month I did horrible in that aspect. A couple of things, I wasn't feeling well beginning of the month. I was just kind of not feeling like putting on makeup. Also for a moment there, I like all last week, I was without power. My power just came on later afternoon yesterday, and that's why I'm able to film this video, which I'm so excited about. And so all week I had been without power. Fortunately, in that aspect, I did not do very well, but I'm going to share with you the palettes I used. The palette that I did earn a point for, which is 1, and then I'll tell you what palettes I attempted to use and all of that real quick. In October with 14 points, which consist of, we started August 1st, I believe, or was it July? I think it was August 1st. Okay, so I got from August, September, and now October. So August and September, I gained 14 points. That's what I'm starting October with, the beginning of October. Now, one palette I did use 3 times or more. 3 or more times, excuse me, and that is the ABH Norvina Palette right here, volume number 4. It's the Pro Pigment Palette, volume 4. I got this from my husband for my birthday back in May, and this month I actually pulled it for the first time and actually played in it. There's still some shades that I have yet to touch, but a lot of the shades I did dig into. This is what the palette looks like. I'm just going to remind you of that. It's absolutely beautiful. Tons of pinks and purples, got some neutrals and a few pops of color in there. Overall, this palette is really nice. It does have fallout and kickback, which is normal with Anastasia shadows, but overall I would say that the shadows and shades worked very, very nicely. I will say that the C1 here, that is one of the shades that did give me some issues and was really, really hard in my opinion to work with. No matter if I used my finger, I scraped the top off, which usually does help, but even with that, it did not help with that specific shade. So overall, other than that, the other shades that I have used, I have really enjoyed and really do like. I think the pigmentation is beautiful. They're easy to blend, and so that is really good. There's 25 shades. I used about 15 of the shades in here overall. And of all those, except for the one that I mentioned, I did truly enjoy. So although I had this since May and I barely pulled it this month, I'm really glad because I really got to try it out this month and really see if it was worth getting. And so I'm really happy with it. This one is the one that I'm getting the point for this month. The only one that I did 3 or more looks with, unfortunately. So before we move on, like I said, I had 14 points and I get 1 point for this month. However, I did do a haul this month, which was for Sephora, which you guys probably have already seen. If not, I will put it here in the cards, where I did purchase 2 of the Pat McGrath. I don't know why I can't ever say her name right. Pat McGrath palettes. So I lose a point for that. So actually this month I made no points, unfortunately. I made 1 point, but because of the haul, I have to minus the 1 point. So I'm ending October with 14 points. So I didn't take any extra with me into November. Hopefully November I'm gonna do a lot better. I'm definitely gonna be working a lot harder to do that. Just want to share a couple of the palettes that I kind of played in this month and did one look at least with. Quickly, just share those with you guys because these are palettes that I had never used or have not used in a very, very long time, and they're rediscovered ones for me. So let's start with this one. This is the James Charles Morphe palette. I had shared with you guys that I got this from a gift from the beautiful Desi here at Desi's Corner, and she blessed me with this, and I was super excited to have this palette. And I have played in it one time, but the one time that I did play in it, I did use multiple shades. But overall, this, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this palette. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette. Has so many shades, so many options, so many colors, and I'm really excited to play more in this. Her palette is the Physicians Formula. This was a palette that I had in my collection and had never touched, and I did play in this month a couple of times. However, not enough to get a point, unfortunately. This is a very nice buttery formula, very pigmented. The shimmer shades are gorgeous and they're just so soft. That is one of them right there. I showed you guys in a favorites video. This is a very beautiful palette. You can definitely get some good looks out of this. I did use that, but not enough for a point. And then we have the Hip Dot palette, which I did use as well. This was a palette I got from BoxyCharm. It looks like that. And this is what the shades look like. It's a very beautiful palette, and I just noticed that all of these shades here are what's in the palette. It's a beautiful palette. I will say that some of the shades were a little hard to work with, but nonetheless, they are still really pretty and can still be worked with. They're pigmented, and there's a couple shades that don't come off as the color payoff, but I had been wanting to try Hip Dot, and so I'm really glad that I have this palette. Okay, the other palette is the Touch of Soul. I did use this, actually played in all the other shades besides glitter. Not all of them exactly, but most of them I played. I know I've touched these 3 here, of course the glitter, and then these right here. The only 2 I have not played or touched in is this big one here and this little one, this circled one here, but all the rest of the shades I have played in. And I would have to say, for Touch of Soul coming out with a palette, I would say this palette did impress me, and I'm really happy that I decided to keep it. I was going to be giving it away, but I had needed that glitter for another look that I did recently, and so obviously I didn't want to give it away after having used it. But it is a very nice palette, and really happy to have that. 2 more. The Sienna's Fusion palette. This is an older palette. It is broke, but this is what it looks like. The lid just comes off. That is what it looks like. You guys know that I love Profusion. This palette is so good. The formula is so good as well. It is an older palette, so it's broke. The formula is so good. I don't know, I just feel like with Profusion's older formula, I feel like it's so much better than the newer in my opinion. But I love this palette. This is one to have on hand for those times that you don't have an all over base shade to put on your lid, or you need some neutrals in the crease because maybe a palette did not have it. You know, that is a great palette for that. If it is still available, I will link it down below for you guys. All of the palettes I will link down below for you guys as well. Okay, one more, and that is my Colourpop A Flutter palette. I shared my Colourpop collection video with you guys. If you have not seen it, I will put it up in the cards. This is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. That is what it looks like. And I do truly enjoy this palette. It is one of my favorites. And like I said, I didn't do enough looks to earn a point with it, but I'm going to continue playing in all of these palettes this month coming up to just enjoy those a little more, because like I said, some of them I had never used, and some are palettes I had not used in a very, very long time, and so it's kind of nice to pull those and use them again to see if I really do enjoy them or not. So quickly, the recap is that I walk away with, starting November, with 14 points, excuse me, not 15 because I lost it. So 14 points going into November. Like I said, going to be doing, trying to work a little harder this month. So this is going to complete my update for my October palette challenge. Definitely don't forget to check out Beth and Nat's channels to see where they are and at what points they earn this month. And don't forget that at the end we will be having that big giveaway. We'll be incorporating gifts to give, and we have been collecting for that as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. This is going to complete this video for today. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.